Society constantly teaches you to be social, to be with others. But no one teaches you the most valuable skill, being happy when you're alone. This video will teach you that skill, the 7 secret laws of being powerfully alone. Once you learn these laws, you'll no longer need anyone else to be happy. You'll find peace in your inner world, even in the middle of a crowd. And most importantly, solitude will become your greatest gift, not a punishment. Hello, amazing viewers. Welcome to Mental Force Lab. This video will change all your thoughts about solitude, because today we'll see solitude not as a deficiency, but as an art. First, let's understand. Why are we afraid of solitude? This fear comes from childhood. When a human baby is born, it's completely defenseless. It needs others constantly to survive. That's why our brain codes solitude equals danger. But when we become adults, this programming no longer works. On the contrary, it limits us. Let me tell you James's story. He's 32, a successful marketing specialist. But he panics when he's alone. He constantly calls someone, finds someone to chat with on WhatsApp, watches Netflix, just to escape from silence. I can't handle being alone, James says. I constantly need to be with someone. Isn't this normal? No, this isn't normal. This is an addiction. And like any addiction, this takes away your power. Because when you constantly need others, you make your decisions dependent on others' approval. You don't have control over your happiness. You fear hearing your own voice. You miss the opportunity to discover your inner world. But when you learn the art of solitude, the opposite happens. You become a strong, independent, peaceful person. The greatest leaders, thinkers, artists in history share a common trait. They are all masters in the art of solitude. Albert Einstein made his greatest discoveries when alone. Solitude is essential for creative thinking, he used to say. Steve Jobs would wake up at 4 a.m. and take long walks alone. He said his greatest ideas came during those walks. Oprah Winfrey meditates for 20 minutes every day. I meet myself when I'm alone, she says. Gandhi's most powerful decisions were born in moments when he was alone. This isn't coincidence. Solitude brings out the most creative state of the mind. Because, when external voices quiet down, the inner voice strengthens. When there's no pressure to please others, you discover your own truth. When there are no elements to distract your attention, you can think deeply. You find your own rhythm. The first law, stop seeing solitude as your enemy. It's your most reliable friend. Most people think loneliness equals solitude. But these two concepts are different. Loneliness, feeling bad about your need for others. Solitude, the art of spending quality time with yourself. Loneliness causes pain. Solitude strengthens. Listen to Emma's story. She's 28, a lawyer. After divorce, she started living alone for the first time. The first weeks were terrible, she says. When I came home, no one was there. I ate dinner alone. I was very sad. But after 3 weeks, something changed. I realized that I could actually hear my own voice. I was cooking the food I wanted, playing the music I wanted, sleeping when I wanted without having to account to anyone. After 6 months, Emma's life had completely changed. She started the master's degree she had postponed for years, began taking art classes, acquired new hobbies. Now I love being alone, she says. It gives me freedom. How do you experience this transformation? Practical exercise. Every day, sit completely alone for 15 minutes without phone, without music. Just breathe. Observe your thoughts. The first days will be difficult, but you'll start enjoying it once you get used to it. The second law, learn to befriend yourself. How does a friend treat you? They listen, approach with understanding, support, make you laugh, right? So how do you treat yourself? Most people treat themselves like their harshest critic. Let me tell you Michael's story. He's 35, an architect. He constantly criticizes himself. I couldn't be productive today either. I should have done that job better. How unsuccessful I am. One day, I asked him, if your closest friend talked to you like this, what would you say to them? I would end the friendship immediately, he said. So why do you talk to yourself like this? He realized at that moment. His treatment of himself was very different from his treatment of his friends. Being your own best friend means speaking kindly to yourself, forgiving your mistakes, celebrating your successes, caring about your own needs, being patient with yourself. Practical exercise. Look in the mirror and say to yourself, "It's so nice to see you today." It will feel strange at first, but it's a powerful exercise. The third law. Learn to hear your inner voice. Living constantly in noise, we forget to hear our own voice. But that voice is always there. We just suppress it because we're afraid of silence. What is the inner voice? This is your intuition, your wisdom, your true desire that shows you the right way. Sarah's story. She's 29, a teacher. For years, she tried to please everyone. What would mom say? What would dad say? What would friends say? That's how she lived. One day, she decided to go on vacation alone. Everyone said, "Are you going alone?" But I went, she says. On that vacation, she was alone with her own voice for the first time. I realized that I didn't actually know what I wanted. I was always looking at what others wanted. For 5 days, she only listened to her own desires. When she wanted to read, she read. When she wanted to walk, she walked. When she wanted to sleep, she slept. When I returned home, I was a much clearer person, she says. My inner voice had strengthened. To strengthen your inner voice, sit in silence for at least 10 minutes daily. Ask the question, what do I really want? Listen to your first instincts. Don't be hasty about taking others' opinions. At this point, if this information is adding value to you, don't forget to subscribe to Mental Force Lab and like this video. Also share in the comments which law is most useful for you. I read all of them. The fourth law. Develop special rituals to do when you're alone. Rituals are activities that belong only to you, that strengthen and nourish you. Mark's story. He's 40, a businessman. He has a very busy life, constantly among people. But every Sunday morning, he has a special ritual. He wakes up at 5:30, prepares his coffee without talking to anyone, sits on his balcony, and watches the sunrise. For 1 hour, he doesn't do anything, just exists. This is my weekly recharge moment, he says. In that 1 hour, I meet myself. Examples of solitude rituals. Drinking your morning coffee silently. Walking at sunset. Cooking special meals for yourself on weekends. Monthly solo cinema or theater treats. Spending time alone in nature. Writing diary or letters. Important. Turn off your phone while doing these rituals. Just be with yourself. The fifth law. Use solitude for creativity. Creativity is born in solitude, not in crowds. Because to be creative, you need deep thinking. The chance to experiment without fear of criticism. To hear your own voice. Lisa's story. She's 26, a graphic designer. When she was alone at home during the pandemic, she started painting out of boredom. At first I was just passing time, she says. But then I realized there was actually a great artist inside me. After 6 months, she opened her first personal exhibition. If I hadn't been alone, I would never have discovered this talent. Creative activities you can do alone. Writing, journal, stories, poems. Painting, making music. Photography. Handicrafts. Cooking experiments. Interior decorating. The sixth law. Use your alone time to develop yourself. Most people look for entertainment in their free time. But strong people look for growth in their free time. David's story. He's 30, an accountant. He was a very social person, constantly spending time with friends. But after a while, he realized he was talking about the same topics, going to the same places, not developing at all. He decided to reduce his social activities. During those times, he started investing in himself, took English courses, learned online marketing, started reading personal development books, adopted running as a hobby. After 1 year, he had both moved to a better job and become a much more confident person. Now I spend more quality time with my friends, he says, because I have more to give them. Ways to invest in yourself. Learning new skills, reading books, taking online courses, exercising, developing healthy habits, meditating. The seventh and final law: use the power you develop in solitude to benefit others. This may seem paradoxical. By learning the art of solitude, you become more social. Because you become someone who contributes, not someone in need. The time you spend with people becomes quality time. You don't sacrifice yourself to make others happy. You establish healthy boundaries. Jennifer's story. She's 33, a teacher. After learning the art of solitude, she started volunteer work. I used to constantly expect emotional support from my friends, she says. Now I'm the one giving support. Because I'm full inside, I can overflow. Now she works both in her own school and with disadvantaged children. I'm transferring the inner strength I developed in solitude to them. Ways to share your solitude power. Volunteer work. Mentoring. Caring for someone in need. Teaching your knowledge and skills. Creating positive change in your environment. At this point, it's important to make a crucial distinction. Wrong solitude, isolation, based on depression, anxiety, anger. Escaping from the world. Self-punishment. Losing social skills. Cycling through negative thoughts. Right solitude, solitude. Conscious choice. To discover yourself. To reach inner strength. To develop creativity. To nourish social relationships. If you feel bad when alone, this might be isolation. Don't hesitate to seek professional help. Morning practice. Silent beginning. Every morning, sit silently for 10 minutes without turning on your phone. Start the day with your own energy. Noon practice. Check in with yourself. Ask questions. How am I feeling? Logically, what do I need? Logically, what do I want? Evening practice. Daily summary. Evaluate the day with yourself. What did I learn? Which strengths did I use? Weekly practice. Solo date. Spend quality time with yourself weekly. Cinema, coffee, walking, whatever you want. Monthly practice. Digital detox. Have a complete digital detox 1 day a month. Stay only with yourself. How do you deal with comments like, "Why are you always at home?" Logically, you can't go out. Get yourself together. Being alone isn't healthy. Strategy 1. Set clear boundaries. Say spending time alone strengthens me. Don't go on the defensive. Strategy 2. Educate. Explain the benefits of the art of solitude. People approach with understanding as they become informed. Strategy 3. Be an example. Show your transformation in the art of solitude by living it. Results speak. The art of solitude can be learned. And when you learn it, your life changes. First 7 days. Action plan. 15 minutes of conscious solitude daily. Start speaking kindly to yourself. Begin a creative activity. First month. Plan weekly solo dates. Focus on listening to your inner voice. Create your solitude rituals. After 3 months, use your art of solitude to serve others. Observe the change in quality of your social relationships. Notice your relationship with yourself strengthening. Remember, the strongest people are those who are happy when alone. Because they don't need anyone. Thanks for watching. If this video added value to your life, don't forget to like and share your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe to Mental Force Lab. We bring you mental transformation content every week. Share your art of solitude experiences in the comments. See you in the next video. Take care.